between the New York Jets and the Los Angeles Chargers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU and Zach Wilson.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Play action. Now Wilson. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's a big play that time by the Jets.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside 30. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. He'll check this down to Hines. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed that went right into the game plan. Attack them early, see if they're going to play any better, and if not, you keep the pressure on them until things change.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson. Being chased out left. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Throwing is Wilson. Touchdown! Nyheim Hines, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Jets on for the point after. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and it ends with a Jet touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Going on the ground with Eckler. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The numbers for him from a week ago. 12 carries, 58 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. He finds his man complete. That's Richards. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got this down to the 35.
Partners, a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Now it's Herbert. Over the middle, complete. That's Richards.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. And he's going to be taken down.
Let's go.
A sack back at the 32. John Franklin Myers, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase in.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. Hopkins' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complementary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Well, Carter Landry maybe doesn't have the speed he once had in his Longhorn days, but he showed a nice little burst after that catch.
Almost like he had a little bit of a throwback there, huh, partner? Because while he was never really a burner, he did have the ability to outrun linebackers. And here, as you described, he looked like the 2014 Carter Landry. And he rumbled for a big gain.
And he's got this down to the 35.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it? The slot receivers are the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there, showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Wilson. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. But those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, able to avoid him. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Here's Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd and goal, Wilson floating one, incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you? Touchdown, Jets! Carter Landry with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Bloods to try to add the PAT. this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive.
And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And his throw is incomplete.
This defense for the Jets, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you. Had an open man that time. We ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Herbert.
He dumps it to Eckler underneath.
And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride. He's carrying it over from last week. Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. Again, he's got that man Landry. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. They go play action with Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now it's Wilson. Able to connect with Mims. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw there complete to Allen. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Out of the gun, Herbert. And that will be incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is fielded at the 7. Oh, and now some space to operate. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but it's brought down after a huge return there. And they'll have a short field to go as this drive starts on the fringe of the red zone at the 20. A little jet sweep to start the drive. Shifts by at the 15. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. On 2nd down and 4, Wilson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And Lutz's kick is good. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Lutz now to kick this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Getting set to go again here on offense, Keenan Allen marches back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. On 1st down, Justin Herbert throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Herbert. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. The Chargers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Herbert now.
That's into the hands of Eckler.
Fighting his way through contact.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively, and it'll bring up second down.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Herbert.
This one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Austin Eckler and the Charger offense reclaim center stage.
A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes at this stage of the season, you're looking for that extra goal, right? That extra motivation to accomplish what you want, not just as a team, but as individuals. He's got to stretch a little bit to get there. That might be what they're talking about during the practice sessions in their meetings. Hey, we can still get this done. Let's go ahead and feed him the ball.
And the offensive line, I'm sure they're well aware of where he stands as well.
They are, and I think for them, it would be an even better accomplishment to get there now because it seems like a little bit of a reach.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Herbert. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
Full run show Fatukasi, racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 30.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And the Jets will take over 1st and 10.
Zach Wilson and the Jet offense set to take over here.
And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Wilson.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson.
That's caught right side by Mims.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Now Wilson on 1st down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Wilson will throw again. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Isaac Yianum in there to pick it. 30. 10. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up. It's true as they get back in a bit here. It's now 23-10. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Zach Wilson and the Jet offense set to take over here.
And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the 2nd quarter. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
A beautiful fake. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game. That game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness. Did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for only a couple. From the 41, Wilson. That one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
The Jets on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Wilson to throw. He's going to look deep for more. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory.
Oh, I thought I was going to go.
It's a good play there for the Jets on third down. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Hines will take this one in. Touchdown, New York. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And they fake it. They pitch to the tight end. And that one goes virtually nowhere. Tried to fake extra point, but nothing comes of it.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here, trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number one, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number two, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Austin Eckler and the Charger offense reclaim center stage.
He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football.
Where was that going to?
May pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that.
But now look at this. Big gain, but fumble. And the Jets have recovered.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Zach Wilson and the Jet offense set to take over here.
They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. They'll run on first down. It's Hines. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It's a big play that time by the Jets.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the
What?
offense.
Sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a second down here. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. Here's Walton, and he's in. Touchdown, Jets. It's the fullback. His fifth touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, nothing complicated about that. That's old-school power football.
And effective, and that's the key to everything, right? Sometimes we try and do too many things. Just hand it to the big guy and let him go forward.
Lutz good on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Heading back out, the Chargers offense. We get a peek at the playoff picture of the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll hand off here to Eckler. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Herbert. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look in the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Elijah Moore, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Here comes the Jets defense as they ready themselves. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Looking to throw again on second down. Herbert. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. On first down, it's Herbert. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Herbert on first down now. He finds his man complete. It's Richards. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Fine.
Running on first down, Eckler. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd and 5 now. Herbert, he finds his man complete. It's Richards.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And the Chargers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. And they'll turn it power game to try to get in. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit. And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it in the play before with a smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score.
And that has to warm the hearts of a lot of old-school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The New York set to take the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much
how's everyone doing?
A jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total.
Man, defensively that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
On first down, Wilson. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away, not intercepted.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Denzel Mims, his 9th touchdown of the season. And this Jet offense starting to run away with this one. And they just ran the fly route there, didn't they?
You broke it down perfectly. He ends up catching that one and taking it all the way into the end zone.
Well, thanks. It was pretty simple to break down, though. I mean, that's just a guy going, running on the go route, making a play.
Speed,
kills.
Speed. And what does it do?
It kills.
There you go.
Lutz with the extra point. And a route is on here in this first half.
Oh.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. And we spotlight Keenan Allen as he gets set to go back to work. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. John Franklin Myers in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. Sacks a growing team in this first half. This is 2nd and long. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing on 2nd and long. Herbert, he finds his man, complete. It's Richards. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Herbert. Wide open, it's Allen, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. He finds his man, complete. It's Richards. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of 40 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards to pick up there.
I just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that
Thanks for
play?
the
Lost
light.
him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. He'll get this to Eckler. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Draw play, it's Eckler. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Herbert. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. He hit us first, this one from 40 yards out. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will narrow this, if that's even the right word, to a 30-point deficit. No problems in the field goal department so far.
50 to 20.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he is going to give himself up on a play that really turns out to be a disaster. So we reach halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you to our EA studios in Orlando. Here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start our tour in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. And this, a 10-point game as they've reached halftime. Deontay Johnson, a touchdown catch in that first half. From there, we head down to the desert. Check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And you can see there, it's the visiting L.A. Rams who have the lead in that one. The Florida State product, Cam Akers, with a touchdown run. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And it was the visiting Dolphins who were able to get the victory. Devontae Parker, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Gotton and Charles Davis.
The Chargers going to get the football first here in the second half, and they trail as we get back underway. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going, and they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half, so where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. He'll find Williams on the slant. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
83 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Back to throw. Herbert. He'll find Lazard here over the middle. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
And I believe that that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be upended at the 18. That's a very helpful pickup of 9 after the play began at the 9.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now it's Hines. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll have a Jets 1st down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
This is Hines. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Throwing is Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
From the gun on 3rd down. Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off near the 29. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Another attempt now from 5 yards further back. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
57 to 20.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler, and he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 105 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game.
Come on.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
And now offensively, it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense did not look particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Herbert back to the air. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. He finds his man, complete. It's Richards. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
He finds his man, complete. That's Richards. A gain of 6 there on first. 4 yards remain on second down. Ball on the 10. Again, Herbert. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Richards. And the Chargers are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, they've got 3 tight ends here on first and goal to add some extra mass. Eckler. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. Trey McKinney, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. Hopkins with the extra point. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one. It's a fair catch, a signal for, and take it. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Still well in control of this ball game, despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. Throwing now, Wilson on first down.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
3rd quarter now from SoFi Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10. They run with Hines. He'll have a first down.
What?
40, and all the way up to the 46.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson, he'll air this one out from Mims. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. Big yardage that time for the Jets. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Call it no gain, and it's going to be second and goal. Second down and goal. Wilson, and he's going to lose yardage here. As they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Zach Wilson, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Jets are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Though definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown pass as they're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
Lutz wants to add the extra point.
Whoa.
It's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. On the screen, this is Eckler. Now room for Eckler. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
Back to throw here, Herbert. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 20, the 40, the 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
The Charger drive about to get going.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
A gain of 6 there on first. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the 44, Herbert over the middle, and it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Herbert. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. He's going to look deep for more. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. Big yardage that time for the Jets.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away, and frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Hines. Nifty move. And shedding through the tackle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
Damn it.
This one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He finds his man complete. That's Richards. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Here's Herbert. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving
giving up the ball in that situation, secured it tight to his body, and picks up the first down.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll look to throw again. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. John Franklin Myers in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert under pressure, and they got to him again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Richards. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. And on that last catch, Charles, he tops the 150-yard mark. It's one thing when your wideout gets that. When your tight end gets it, it's quite another.
We keep seeing the evolution of that position, don't we? We've seen where it's gone from strictly as a blocker to a guy who caught a few passes to now an integral part of the passing game, sometimes the primary receiver, because a lot of these guys have wide receiver skills, and we're seeing that on display here. Just think about the guys in the past looking back at this game and saying, sure wish that was me. I'd love to have gone out for those types of passes.
51 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. Room here to run. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, there to make the play defensively. On 2nd down now. It's Hines. Dances by at the 20. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they turn to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Here's Wilson, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And it'll be a turnover on downs. From down near his goal line here, Herbert. Throw left side, taken in by McKinney. And he gets this up just shy of the 15.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
gets past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Well, he flew past 200, 300, 400 yards. Now he's over 450 yards passing on the day.
So what you're saying is oxygen for everyone catching the ball and trying to defend?
Yeah, especially those guys trying to defend right now.
No doubt. They've got to be a confused group because they haven't been able to defend him very well at all. And I think he just wants to keep firing. When you have that kind of a day, you're just locked in. Just keep calling those pass plays.
On first down, Herbert. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, Herbert. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 39.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Out of the gun, Herbert. Going back to Allen. He's got him again. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Herbert finding a safety valve here. That's complete.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. 2nd and 10. Herbert now. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again, Herbert. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. On the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. And they'll start on the ground with Hines. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. Wilson now off the bootleg. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Wilson wants to throw it. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. At after the incomplete pass. Here now is 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Wilson. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Here's the Jets punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And how about this, a fake? And he's going to let it go deep.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. One last throw here for Herbert. And this is caught inside the 5.
What?
A consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
The extra point is good, but it only impacts the final score as this game comes to a close. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing is done.
So for the Jets, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, it's a potentially fatal...
So we're back with our esteemed guest, Alexandra Bishop, on the call. And Alex, I can't even imagine how special this week is for you. Your first game back in Philly as an NFL defensive coordinator. I would think that's got to add more significance to this matchup. Am I right?
As much as I'd love to say this is just like any other game, getting the opportunity to come back to my hometown, that's a huge deal for me.
Right. I mean, your hometown, a place you grew up, born and raised, went to games with your dad at the lake, and even the vet. And, of course, with all your connections in Philly, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you've spent a ton of time trying to scrounge together tickets for more than a few family and friends.
Yeah, and about half of them will probably be in Eagles gear, you know. But that's fine. They've supported me the whole way, and I'm sure even though their attire won't show it, they'll be pulling for our defense to play well.
Well, yeah, and I gotta say, Alex, that makes for an interesting challenge if you're a member of the Bishop family.
I think a low-scoring Eagles win is what they'll be hoping for. But for the first time in my life, I look forward to disappointing my family.
Yes, I love it. Well, hey, look, then we all hope that you disappoint your family this week. But, Alex, all jokes aside, let's get to something one of my listeners wants to know about.
All right. Alright, I'm gonna end the stream, guys. See you guys tomorrow.